Good morning and welcome back to it, the Now Morning Show, where we are talking to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service in the form of Inspector, well, as every Monday that we do, Inspector Michelle Lewis joins us. This time around telling us how the TTPs is ready and on standby to assist. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning to the both of you and good morning to Trinidad and Tobago. We are expecting this Hurricane Beryl. And so the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, as one of the agencies for emergency support, we stand ready to assist in all capacities.
Good to hear. The thing is, though, when we think of being prepared or using emergency services, we understand where our regional corporations may help. We understand where other emergency services will help. So what does help look like from the TTPs in these circumstances?
This morning, I spoke with the Deputy Commissioner of Police Operations, Mr. Junior Benjamin, and he's actually in charge of all the division and the divisional commanders. And in conversation with him, he indicated that he has already spoken to all the senior superintendents in the divisions. So what happens is that the divisional commanders meet and dialogue with the municipal police. For example, the Tunapuna Piaco Regional Corporation would meet with the Northern Division Commander, Northern Division Central, Northern Division North Commander and stuff like that. And so they are able to collaborate and say what resources or what additional support you want from the TTPs. So we have these shelters that are taking place throughout Trinidad and Tobago. Right. And within these shelters, you have persons who have parked their vehicles, you have persons who they would have left their homes, you have persons who are, there's a crowd of people who are there. And the support from the TTPs to the municipal adds the level of police in those areas, in those spaces. And so we augment the strength to the municipal police throughout Trinidad and Tobago. We know at this time Tobago is experiencing the hurricane, notwithstanding what we are hearing, but they are going through, and we don't know how things can change. So Tobago's situation is on a higher alert than Trinidad. Notwithstanding that, all divisional commanders have been activated and ready to assist. So for example, we know that with rain comes flooding. And so it is important that the TTPs send out bulletins through our Facebook page, communicate through our command center, our operational command center, so that the members of the public are aware, and that we also share that information with the ministries as well as with the municipal. And so, for example, traffic management, traffic congestion, you would see police officers on the road assisting and that kind of thing. So although we may not provide what persons may see, the police in the background do a lot of support in relation to assisting persons and getting them out of their homes with the assistance of the other agencies.
That's one of the questions I wanted to ask in terms of what are some of the collaborative efforts in terms of evacuating people, whether or not you're moving to a shelter, whether or not you have them sheltering in place. So what are some of the things that determine, okay, well, this is more your responsibility, or this is more the responsibility of the police?
The TTPs has a critical incident event disaster management plan, which has been in effect out of the Hurricane Beryl. And with it, it shows the different agencies and how we collaborate with them and how we account to each other through our networking, through the command centers I mentioned, and through chats, so that when incidents occur and someone needs help, really the first responders, whether it be the TTPs, whether it be ODPM, whether it be municipal or whoever is on site first, responds and then call for the additional support. So that the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, even now we have called out in communication with the DCP, has called out officers since yesterday, so that we have additional police officers at stations to assist, so that we don't have the unusual amount of officers working today. The strength has been lifted or augmented, so that we have additional officers to assist with security of vehicles, to assist with traffic management, and to help people to come out, because sometimes persons need that help to come out from where they are, and even to get a lift. So we do utilize the humanitarian aspect of emergency and not so much of the criminal aspect when it comes to disaster preparedness
and management.
That's really
to hear, to be very honest with you. I think the reassurance of knowing that these spaces that you're not used to being in are being fortified where security is concerned is absolutely, well, to me, who not even using it, so far less for the persons who are actually utilizing the space. Very, very reassuring. We're leaning heavily on that serving part, the protection being part of it as well.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit, though, as to what will happen during that occasion when Beryl makes landfall. So we hear that, for example, Tobago already has rain.
Yes.
What will we see from the TTPS when we start getting those torrential showers, when people who didn't prepare as well are still trying to move through? What can that look like?
Well, first we want to warn persons that Trinidad and Tobago, both Tobago and Trinidad, we are on alert. The situation in Tobago is more critical than Trinidad. But if you do not need to leave your home, do not leave home. And so in driving from one area to the other, if you leave your home and you end up in a flood-prone area, this is where you might call for the assistance, and the most common number that persons will call will be 999. And so, as mentioned before, through the command center, we'll be able to direct the resources to be able to help. But we don't want persons to be negligent or ignorant during this time, during the Hurricane Beryl time, to think that because I'm not seeing anything happening at this time, that nothing can come and occur.
Right.
And we know that the winds are very high and very fast, very strong, so that you may see something now and say, well, you know, I can go outside and relax. We want to advise you against such behavior. And so if children are at home and you do not need to go out, stay home with your children and utilize this opportunity for a bonding moment.
A bonding moment. I want to ask something as an East person, because the police would usually make the alerts or the decision, I suppose, on opening other routes, alternative routes, should we have flash flooding or anything like that. Is that correct?
So yes, through the Ministry of Works and Transport, and of course, depending on what it is, the police can temporarily close off and, of course, provide one way and that kind of thing where the flooding is, so that persons do not get themselves in difficulties.
Right.
Also, we advise persons against driving in flood waters. Certainly, if you see that the water is, you know an area and you know that that area is known for flooding, just don't bother to go. The Ministry of Local Government, I understand they have put out and issued a lot of areas throughout Trinidad and Tobago. Some communities, as a matter of fact, all the shelters, you can park your vehicles there.
Okay.
And you have the additional support of the TTPs for that security for your vehicles. And then there are other areas like Arima Velodrome and Coover facility and stuff like that. Yes, that is available so persons can park your vehicle and it can be safe. Okay. So you have the police service there giving that additional support as well and still patrolling the areas where possible and possible.
Okay.
That's one of the things I wanted to ask about, because yes, it's all well and good to say, okay, well, I'm able to go to a shelter, but I know what I spend for my things. So, and in terms of the vehicle or the things at home, to have that sense of reassurance that where possible, like you said, there are going to be patrols. So it's not as though, okay, well, I take up myself and go to safety, and somebody take up my things and carry it to them.
No, you are still going to see the police officers doing the patrols where possible and passable, because we also have to consider the well-being and the welfare of the officers, and not say, well, you know, we are super people, though people like to think so, but we do have to pay attention to that as well. And so once the area is clear and aware and the officers can pass through, certainly they will be paying a particular attention to those areas, and you will see the swivel lights on, because it's something that lets you know that the police is in the area. Just by seeing that light, it gives its attraction to
and reassurance
persons,
this time around, for sure.
So we really want to alleviate the fear of the public that in all instances and circumstances that the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, we are here to serve, we are here to help with the situation and to mitigate any possible bad occurrence that may happen as a result of, and to give that support. But please be responsible in your action. Stay home if you do not need to go out, and of course, do not drive through flood-prone areas. Park your vehicle at a higher level if you know that your area is flooding. And so we will continue to partner with the police and share information with the public as it comes to hand.
Thank you so much for enlightening us and reiterating the support that the TTPS is lending as we get ready to battle Beryl. The TTPS is ready to ready and waiting to
Ready and on
assist, to
standby.
serve, and to protect.
Yes.
Thank you again to Inspector Lewis for joining us this morning, updating us and continuing to help us on the Now Morning Show to get you prepared. So stick around for more information that you can use on this morning show.